Regirock, a Pokemon with base 200 defense alongside Iron defense and body press access, with Terra allowing to get rid of its rock typing, which usually has a bunch of weaknesses for a different typing, allows it to have a lot of potential being able to wall a lot of strong physical attackers in the current format. We're going to be trying out and see how well that this team can perform. This is a Sunrun team that went 6-3 at the Liverpool Regional Championship, almost making it into day 2. The composition involves Incineroar and Regirock that have done well recently, winning the recent Scarlet Regional Championship, able to do a lot with that Armor Tail Regirock preventing any priority, that Throat Spray allowing Regirock to actually be able to do damage, and set up Trick Room. Alongside the partners, we have Torkoal, which is able to do a massive amount of damage with the Charcoal and Eruption and Heat Wave under the sun, and pairs well with the Regirock, which Iron Defense Body Press is a very strong set, especially with the base 200 physical defense that Regirock has access to, while Water Urshifu isn't as common anymore. With the Sun Boost, it's not able to do that much damage even with the critical hits, ignoring the Iron Defense boost. We also have Raging Bolt that's also able to help out against the Water Urshifus and just water types in general. Really strong with that Photosynthesis, able to take advantage of the sun. Alongside the final member, which is going to be that Fluttermane with the Focus Sash, is able to be a great strong hitter that's able to do a lot of chip damage at the start or a really nice end game cleaner. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. Xianpao, Porygon 2, Tinglu, Urshifu, Incineroar, and Amoonguss. Now, this team, if it's Dark Urshifu, I would love it, but I am assuming it's going to be Water Urshifu because they have triple Dark type. If actually quadruple Dark type, they already have triple Dark type. And you know what's really good against that? That's actually the Regirock. The Regirock's actually really solid here because Regirock with the Iron Defense, really hard for them to break through. They do have the Sacred Sword Xianpao, which I do have to worry about, as well as the Amoonguss with Spore. I do have a Terra Grass here, which actually would be really beneficial. But a lot of Porygon 2 do carry Ice Beam, and that's probably like their main damage dealer here. So I think I do want to go Regirock. Regirock seems really strong here. I want to bring Torkoal, I think, because Torkoal is really nice to clear the Amoonguss. High physical defense is of course appreciated, but also really good into the Urshifu, so I just don't see a reason why I wouldn't go for it. I think Regirock plus Incineroar isn't too bad as a lead. I don't really need Raging Bolt here, especially against Tinglu, which I don't know if it's going to be brought, but like Ruination would be a pretty powerful tool, I guess, here. And then I bring Regirock and Torkoal in the back. I think a lot of this game is like how well can I preserve the Regirock and get into a good position, because if I get one Iron Defense off, it's really bad for them, and I mean really bad. If I get 2, I could Terra Grass, no problem, and as long as I don't get cripped by Flare Blitz or Ice Beam, I should be okay. Although again, Porygon 2 probably gonna be a big threat. A lot of them do run the Terra Poison Terra Blast now as well, which means Terra Grass isn't exactly the best, but it does allow me to body press through Pokemon pretty easily. We're gonna see the Incineroar plus the Porygon come out as a lead here. Okay, as they will have that fast Intimidate. So they do get a special attack boost. I am able to get the Intimidate off into their Incineroar, retrade Intimidates. Let's see, how do I want to approach this? I could go out into Regirock, which I actually really like here. I don't know if they're going to knock off immediately. I don't need the Throat Spray, I think, in the match overall. Then I would like the Parting Shot, I think, the Porygon. I would like to just prevent a fake out. I don't know who they would fake out. They could go straight for a knockoff here into the Regirock, which I think is completely fine. I want to lower the special attack of the Porygon. Ooh, Porygon Heart Switches actually, so I'm a bit surprised about this one here. Into Amoonguss, which is fine. Regirock's going to be in a good spot. I guess I could get Torkoal in and do a lot of damage as well, so don't think that would be too bad. Let's see. As we will bring out Regirock. I don't think I mind revealing all 4 Pokemon here. They do go straight for the knockoff to try and get rid of the leftovers, which does make a lot of sense here. I do have to watch out because I did just take a lot of damage, but here comes a Parting Shot into the Amoonguss. And I would like to probably just go... I could go into Regirock or I could go into Torkoal. I would probably want to go Torkoal here. And I think Torkoal is pretty safe. I guess the question is, what's Incineroar going to do the next turn? Because they could have a knockoff into a Spore into my Torkoal slot, or they could go for the Regirock. I think I just want to Psychic the Amoonguss, because if I get rid of Amoonguss, I'm in a really good position. And then I kind of want to either go back in Incineroar, which I think is probably the better call. I am a little bit worried if they do go for the knockoff plus Spore. I could have protected, but I'm also worried if they target the Farigiraf slots. So I'm gonna make a mid ground. It's not like awful if I get a knockoff in the Spore here in Incineroar. It's not ideal, but it's not terrible. Let's find out what they're gonna click. Ooh, we're gonna see a Terra come out actually. Is this Terra Water on the Amoonguss? It is gonna be Terra Water on Amoonguss. Okay, so I wonder who that means they're targeting right here, because that's a pretty big Terra reveal here, which means they don't resist body press anymore, which is also pretty big. Here goes the Flare Blitz. As I anticipated, the Farigiraf is able to hang on, which is really nice. Okay, perfect. And we are able to get a Psychic off into the Amoonguss, so not bad damage. Of course, Spore gonna come out into the Incineroar slot, but I don't think this is too bad. I can just go for a few plays. I could go for Fake Out plus Hyper Voice for Chip. I could go out into Regirock immediately, which is an awful eater. I think I'm just gonna get a Hyper Voice off, and I'm just gonna go for a Fake Out into the Incineroar. I don't know if Incineroar is gonna hard swap now, or if they're gonna just try to take a KO. I think both would make a lot of sense here, but basically the Amoonguss, the worst it can do is Pollen Puff here or Spore, and they could Spore my Farigiraf, or they could Pollen Puff the Farigiraf for the knockout, which I think both are acceptable. We're gonna see a hard swap, which makes sense. Porygon 2 probably coming back in. Yep. Okay, good plan on their part. Again, I don't think this is that bad. Download is going to activate, get the attack boost this time, which is also really solid. Ooh, we're going to see a double swap. I wonder if this is like Jianpao? No Urshifu revealed here. Ting Lu, okay. That means Regirock can come in pretty safely, I think. Here comes a Fake Out into the Porygon. We do get a Hyper Voice. Don't think it's too bad. Don't think it's too bad. I think I would like to probably just protect the Farigiraf and get a Parting Shot off into the Ting Lu, as I would really like to get in my Regirock and start setting up the Iron defenses now, especially with that Amoonguss not being able to resist anymore. We're going to see a Terra Blast come out into the Farigiraf, which is perfectly acceptable. We're going to see the Ting Lu move after the Incineroar, which is nice. Okay. The Parting Shot does get that Ting Lu in a much worse position with that attack drop, but this could still be scary depending on the move here. But at least I don't have to worry about like Incineroar going for the knockoff right here, which is pretty big. Zombie Tantrum -1. Regirock is pretty bulky, as you see. Like, look at how little damage we took. Beautiful. Okay, we're able to heal that with the leftovers, and now I will just go back into Incineroar for the Farigiraf. I might as well keep the Farigiraf around. Gonna go for the Iron defense immediately. I could Terra Grass if I want to, but I don't think there's really that much of an issue. What's nice is after this Iron defense, the body presses, they don't have a resist. They brought 3 fighting weeks, and I guess that's what happens when you're triple dark. But they didn't even bring the Jianpao, but this is perfect. We get to bring out the Incineroar. Porygon gonna retreat, which makes a lot of sense too. This should probably be into they're gonna go into Amoonguss again, which is perfectly fine. Okay, as we set up an Iron defense, and then I think I'm able to go for a Fake Out into their Amoonguss and go for another Iron defense. They go for Ruination to lower my HP by 50%, which makes sense, but I don't know how they're going to be able to get the remaining health off my Regirock. They could spam this Ruination all they want, but if they're not able to do more damage, then it's not really a problem for me. I will go for a Fake Out into the Amoonguss and just go for another Iron defense, because once we get that +4, we're really going to be dishing out the damage. We're going to see the Ting Lu switch out, which is probably into Incineroar. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. So Incineroar going to come out with the Intimidate. It's perfectly acceptable. We will go for a Fake Out into the Amoonguss. Rocky Helmet confirmed. Okay. And an Iron defense setup. Perfect. I wonder if I could KO Amoonguss in this spot. I have a feeling the answer would probably be no, but if we can knock out Amoonguss with body press at +4, I mean, this is a Regirock. This has really high physical defense. I don't think it's enough yet, though. I don't think it's enough. I think I want to go. I either sack Farigiraf, or I don't think they would Fake Out, because I could just go into the Farigiraf again. I feel like it's very likely they go for a knockoff into the Incineroar. So you know what? I'm going to make a bit of an aggressive play. I don't think they're going to Fake Out Spore here, because Farigiraf is so obvious. I think they would go for a knockoff Yeah, they would go for a knockoff, but they do target Regirock. I thought they would target Farigiraf, but I think this is still okay, as we will go for a knockoff into the Amoonguss. Get a bit of chip, but we more importantly get rid of that Rocky Helmet, which is really crucial. And let's see if the body press KOs. It is +4 Regirock. It does KO the Amoonguss, so huge. And now we can start trying to fire off the KOs, which is really big, because their Incineroar can't do damage. Their Ting-Lu can't do damage to me other than Ruination. It's only the Porygon. Once I get rid of that Porygon, we're in a very, very solid position. So we are going to see the Porygon come out, which definitely makes a lot of sense here. I don't even have to knock out the Porygon to probably pick up the knockout, so that's beautiful. I'm just going to go for a parting shot into that Porygon, and we will go for a Protect with our Regirock. Very safe play, and I don't really see how they're really going to punish this. So let's see what they could do. They could double up the Incineroar, but I'm not really even that concerned about Incineroar taking that much damage. They do go for the knockoff into the Incineroar smartly. This should also be a Terra Blast into that Incineroar slot as well, as we will get a parting shot. But if they do take the knockout here, because my Incineroar moved before the Porygon, that means I just get a free Incineroar swap in, and then I can fake out Body Press the Porygon 2 slot in the next turn. And it's still looking really awful for them. So we will go hard into the Farigiraf here. I could bring in Torkoal, but there's not really any benefit to. They went for the Ice Beam into the Regirock, which is acceptable. Okay. So that Porygon at neutral just really can't do much. I also don't know who's faster between Regirock and the Porygon. I might just be faster, actually. I think I am probably faster. So you know what? Let's go for a Hyper Voice. And let's go for a Body Press, I suppose. I don't really have a reason to bring in my Incineroar for the Farigiraf at this moment. So let's just get some damage. Hyper Voice, some pretty decent chip. Knockoff going to take the KO on the Farigiraf, but I'm fine with Farigiraf going down. And if I just bring it, let's see. If I outspeed and KO the Porygon, I think they just lose. Okay, weird speed interaction here. Ice Beam isn't able to do near enough. Thankfully, they didn't get the freeze. Maybe I should have went Torkoal just so I couldn't get frozen right there, which could have been a loose con, I suppose, but still able to be fine. We go in Incineroar, we click Fake Out Body Press into their Ting-Lu. We don't care about their Incineroar because they're at -3, I think, and Regirock just swept this team. It's actually incredible how much of an answer they did not have for it. Okay. I think Regirock was faster, but I mean, there's no reason not to fake it out. Oh, wait, no, their Incineroar's only -1, but like, knockoff at -1 is just not doing anything. So we go for the fake out, we go for a Body Press. It's probably a Solvus Ting-Lu. Now gonna be forfeit. They kind of realize, oh, I did not have an answer to this. And Regirock just sweeping. That team just had no fighting mods, which it really had the Amoonguss, but they Terra Water immediately, especially since I had 2 fires and a Psychic mod. Being able to pressure the Amoonguss, and Amoonguss was really crucial for stalling it out, but because I focused the effort on getting a +2 on the Regirock, no trigger was set up. I was just able to KO it to falling. So it was like Amoonguss was either getting pressured by super effective attacks or the +4 Body Press, and they had no resistant Body Press. Whimsicott, Fluttermane, Heartflame, Ogerpon, Urshifu, Farigiraf, Torkoal. On this team, I would imagine it's Dark Urshifu on this team. Water Urshifu on Sun doesn't really make too much sense. We have a Sun Mirror. Incineroar is really good here. The Fluttermane's a really big threat, so I do got to be cautious of that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, my special attack booster or speed booster? I'm speed booster here. Okay. Which isn't that bad. I really like Regirock if I can position it right. It is able to resist a lot of what my opponent can bring here. I'm just a little bit worried about their Flutter, because Flutter is actually a really threatening Pokemon to my team. I don't know if I really like Torkoal. It's not bad, but it's like, I don't really need the Sun, I think, in this matchup. I do want to bring Fluttermane. I think Fluttermane Incineroar is really good, which I will bring. I think I really do like the Regirock. And then last Pokemon, I think it's Farigiraf. The reason I like Farigiraf is just a way to set up Trick Room, because if they do go to Tailwind mode, I do think it's the most efficient route. I guess Raging Bolt could be a Pokemon I could bring here. It's not bad at all into this matchup. It's just the Fluttermane again. I guess like I don't need Farigiraf. It's useful, but it's not like priority is that big of a deal. I think only like speed control Trick Room wise, but Urshifu Dark could be a bit of a problem, which is why I think I'm leaning towards the Raging Bolt. It's also switching to Torkoal with that Assault Vest. Does well against the sort of well. I mean, I'm a little bit worried about like how much Heartflame Ogerpon would do, but I do see value in the Thunderclap for the Darker Shifu. So let's see. It's gonna be the Whimsicott and the Heartflame Ogerpon immediately leading. Okay, as I lead Incineroar and Fluttermane. This is a pretty good position, I would say. Okay. I am Focus Sash on the Fluttermane. We get the Intimidate off. I don't know if they're gonna go for a Double Protect or Spiky Shield right off the bat. I like the play of just going for a... I want a Moonblast here. I'm a little bit worried if I Moonblast in their Endeavor for some reason, but I do kind of like the idea of just getting damage across the board. Do I want to Dazzle or Moonblast? I don't know if I need the damage on the Heartflame Ogerpon immediately. I do think I want to Moonblast the Whimsicott. I think it's okay to hard switch to Regirock. I'm a little bit worried if they go for a Moonblast, I suppose, but I would expect either a Double Protect if they have it, or maybe a Spiky Shield plus something from the Whimsicott here. But let's find out. We will bring out the Regirock. Regirock could also switch in, I suppose. Oh, wow. They went on the offense. Okay. Which is okay. We're going to see the Tailwind come out. Ivy Cudgel going to come out into... I thought that was a Regirock for a second. I was like, huh? Okay. But yeah, we are taking a bit of damage right here. I'm a little bit concerned because now my Fluttermane answers aren't amazing. We do get the special attack drop on Whimsicott, which is nice. I think Incineroar is just a very, very solid switch here. And... do I want to set up the Iron Defense or do I want to set up the Body Press? Do I want to set up Rock Slides? I think they have Flutter in the back, so I don't think there's a reason to set up Iron Defenses. So I'm just gonna Rock Slide. Even just like having the super effective coverage against Ogerpon is still very valuable. So they took a really offensive route. I guess I could have just faked out. I was a little bit worried about taking Spiky Shield damage, but looked like it might have been the better play. Now I have to really... I guess I could still rely on Terra Bolt, but yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot harder. We will bring in Incineroar for the Intimidate. So now that Ogerpon's at -2, we're going to see Ivy Cudgel again. Perfect. Yes, those crits, which is great. We're going to see Moonblast come out of Regirock, but that special attack drop actually going to really help out. We're able to take extremely nice. We're going to get a Rock Slide off into the Whimsicott. No Sun is up, which is really great for Sunny Day. We get a critical hit. I don't know if that mattered. Regirock Rock Slide isn't that bad, although it only did 50% to that Ogerpon. Get with the leftovers. Let's see if it is going to be a Fluttermane coming out, because that's going to be a big one here. Fluttermane damage output. That is where it's scary. Yep, Fluttermane going to come out. I feel like it might be Specs. I'm going to go for a knockoff into Fluttermane, and... questions, do I need to keep the Regirock around? I feel like no, because I'm a little bit worried. They either Dazzle or they go for a Moonblast here. They're just going to do so much damage that I think it's worth always going for Rock Slide. And we're going to see the Ogerpon retreat, which is nice. Into Torkoal. So they're going for a special attack booster, Sun boost attack. Like, I'm just worried about how much damage it's going to do because this is Terra Fairy most likely here. Special attack booster. Yep, okay. If they went for a Moonblast and a Regirock, then it was probably better to protect. If I go down to Terra Dazzling Gleam, it was probably better to protect Regirock. But let's see. I guess I could have Flare Blitz too. Like, I wasn't sure they were going to go Torkoal because of the possibility for Flare Blitz. I would only assume this play if he went for a Moonblast into my Incineroar, which is risky if I was Assault Vest. But we are going to see the Moonblast come out. It is going to target down. Oh, they did target the Regirock, so I could have just protected. But I think that's pretty acceptable here. Okay. The Regirock goes down. That should be Choice Specs. So I am knocking off, I think, that Choice Specs item. Nice. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to go Fluttermane. Because I think I'm going to give them an incline to go for a Dazzling Gleam. They haven't seen my item on the Fluttermane. They only know I'm not Specs. I do get a speed booster. I don't know if that allows me to outspeed anything, but yeah, we will go for Flare Blitz into their Fluttermane. We will go for Protect. Flare Blitz pretty much KOs everything. Although this could be helping in Dazzling Gleam. Although if we did knock out their Choice Specs, I think the Incineroar can live. Okay, they did just go for Dazzling Gleam. No Helping Hand, which is great. Okay, nice. I think the Bolt should win. Yeah, Dazzling Gleam Incineroar takes it pretty well. Here comes a Flare Blitz. Nice. Okay. It's a really good knockout into the Fluttermane. I just really hope Shadow Ball can pick up the knockout. I think Shadow Ball is going to be like a really big factor here into Ogerpon. Take the chip. Is this Heat Wave? Heat Wave is going to come out. We might even survive this with Incineroar, which might be a little bit awkward. Yeah, we do survive. I would have liked to free switch to Bolt. The Tailwind peters out. We have the Sun, so we do have the special, the speed boost still. Here comes the Ogerpon. Shadow Ball. I mean, this is max special attack, but I still don't know if it KOs Ogerpon. I do have Snarl on this, so I think my best place to knock off the Torkoal always and just Shadow Ball the Ogerpon. I don't know if they spike a shield or not. I think they should always spike a shield, but I don't think the extra damage to the Torkoal really changes much. Okay, they attack here. I do get a Shadow Ball off into the Ogerpon. Does pick up a knockout. That's a really, really good knockout. I should just have the game secured with the Raging Bolt in the back then, as we will knock off, get rid of this item on Torkoal. Granted, they could still have some kind of cheats factor on the Torkoal that could screw me over. Charcoal. Eruption gonna come out, pick up the knockout, but that's fine. Like, they could have Fissure on the Torkoal, so I still have technically... I mean, I do probably KO the Torkoal with Thunderbolt with my Raging Bolt now. So, let's see here. I also didn't use my Terra, but... was there anything that was really using my Terra? I didn't really need it on Regirock, for sure. It's Incineroar. Like, Flutter could have used it, I suppose. Yeah, like Terra Ghost wasn't really helping me in any situation. Now we can just go for a Thunderbolt because we don't want to miss. Don't have Fissure. Or survive the Thunderbolt and Fissure. And I think that was like the only way we could possibly lose because we had Assault Vest, Torkoal pretty low. I don't think there was any way they could have otherwise. So, even though we weren't able to do too much damage, I think, with the... well, we did actually take the hits well with Regirock. We needed the spread damage, was really important, and then we set up for a end game of the Raging Bolt, which I think was like really crucial, and just getting fast knockouts, which was very nice with Incineroar. Wellspring, Ogerpon, or Shifu, Incineroar, Landorus, Incarnate form with the Flutter Mane and Tornadus. Ooh, this looks like a tough one. It's manageable though. Trick Room looks really strong, but they do ESA, which can be pretty difficult. I think this is a Trick Room mode for sure. I'm gonna bring the Regirock. I'm gonna bring the Incineroar for a Intimidate as well as Fake Out scenario. I think the only way I get denied Trick Room is it's Covert Cloak Torn with Sunny Day, and the Flutter Mane is choice specs a special attack booster, or they have random Terra Ghost as another option, or Darker Shifu has Terra Ghost as well. I think those are the only ways. Maybe Taunt on Incineroar, which is a lot rarer, I think, or Taunt Flutter Mane. But I do think Trick Room is the best route. Regirock's really good if I'm able to set it up, especially in the sun. I just gotta watch out because Lando Eye is the Pokemon I need to get rid of. That's why I'm not bringing the Raging Bolt. It doesn't do enough against Lando Eye. Flutter's like a decent pick here, but if it's Speed Booster, I don't really see it helping out too much because it's not getting a knockout, and like it could, but I don't think I'm able to clear quickly without Trick Room. And if I can't clear outside of Trick Room, Flutter Mane gets doubled up and then gets knocked out, so I don't think it's a big deal. Incineroar plus the Landorus is gonna lead here, which is perfect for me. They're leading the threat that I need, which is gonna be their Landorus. So I will just go straight for the Fake Out. I mean, I could choose if I let Incineroar go down here or not, but I just don't see a reason not to just go for a Trick Room immediately with Regirock. Should be worth going for the Trick Room with Regirock and Fake Out into the Landorus, I think. Don't want Landorus sending up a Sub Eater because that would be really awful. So I think this is always my play. Fake Out. They go for Snarl, which is fine. Okay. I don't mind Snarl coming out. We will have a lowered special attack, but that's acceptable. We will go for a Trick Room. Okay. I don't know if they're going to Earth Power for Regirock or if they're going to Earth Power the Incineroar. Snarl probably means it's Assault Vest. I kind of want to go hard Regirock. No, I don't want to go hard Regirock. I want a Hyper Voice. Start building up the damage. And I think I want to knock off. The question is, who do I knock off? Probably the Incineroar, because if it's a Solvest, that means it could switch in. And yeah, Landorus is going to protect here. I wasn't sure if Landorus was going to protect. They could actually afford to go aggressive, but this works out huge in my favor. I'm able to get rid of the Assault Vest, I think, on the Incineroar. Yep, it is Assault Vest. Able to activate my Throat Spray, so I'll be back at neutral. And then I could double up the Landorus the next turn, which again is pretty big for my Regirock. It might put in range of Rock Slide too, which is also pretty big. So Throat Spray going to be active. Is it Snarl again or U-turn? I'm going to go for Snarl again, which is fine. Okay. Which I don't really mind. I guess the question is, how aggressive do I want to play here? I think I just double up the Landorus slot with Psychic plus a knockoff. Get rid of the potential of the Life Orb, and it might not be able to pick up KOs into my Incineroar now because of it. So we will knock off that Life Orb, Psychic as well. I don't think Flare Blitz was KOing. Yeah, it looked like Flare Blitz would have missed a KO. They go for a U-turn, which is acceptable, into Regirock. Let's see who they're bringing out. So we have a pretty fast-paced game. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to bring out the Torkoal very safely because of the Snarl and Incineroar, which has been a big one. But Ogerpon going to come in. Okay. And they have Sandstone Storm. They go for it. They do land, but thanks to that knockoff game of that Life Orb, we are able to hang on with our Regirock. So, not terrible. But, yeah. We're going to go Torkoal. And we're going to click Eruption. Just a straight powerful Eruption. I don't know if I want a Parting Shot out. Probably not. I just want to go for an Eruption and a hard into Regirock. If I just get rid of the... I think if I just get rid of the Landorus, I'm in a really good spot, but I still have no idea for certain. Luckily, Ivy Cudgel won't do too much damage. You might be thinking, why didn't Parting Shot? Because this could be Spiky Shield plus Protect here. Or they're going into Incineroar, which also makes sense here. Okay. And I don't want to commit a Terra because I might need to Terra Grass on the Regirock. It's going to be really tough to deal with the Landorus. Landorus is just going to be the biggest issue. Yeah, they Spike a Shield, so I'm kind of happy. I guess I got a Parting Shot out the Landorus, but I didn't think... I wasn't sure if they were just going to protect immediately or go into the Incineroar immediately. So I think this is still acceptable. I am able to get the Eruption off. Very heavy damage into Incineroar. We can go for an Eruption again and Iron Defense, because I don't know who they're going to go for the target of a Fake Out, but either way, I do kind of like the idea of getting this Iron Defense set up with the Regirock, because then we'll be able to start walling their team. We're going to see the Terra come out from probably the Ogerpon, I'd imagine. Says your store is going to be so bad, though, into my Regirock. That'd be so bad. Especially once the sun is out. If I don't get the Iron Defense this turn, because they did fake out. Oh, they faked out the Torkoal. Okay, that's actually... Let's see who they target, because that's going to be a big one. But here comes a Iron Defense. They go for Ivy Cudgel. I'd imagine this is in the Torkoal Den. It's protected, but still not awful. Ooh, geez. That's a lot of damage. Trigger returns to normal. Yeah, that's not amazing here. They probably... Well, they don't have knockoff. That's the thing. I want to Iron Defense again with Regirock. I don't know if they would go for a U-turn. I feel like that's risky and potentially very, very greedy, but let's find out. Ivy Cudgel into the Torkoal slot. They did U-turn. If they U-turned at a Landorus, I could have just killed the Landorus, and then I think I would be in a really good position. For Nodus. Okay, that's fine. I am able to get a Iron Defense situation set up. If they have Taunt, this makes it really weird. I think my best play, I could go either Incineroar or I could just Protect. I think it's... Because the thing is, if I go Incineroar, there's 2 turns of Sun. It wouldn't matter if I have Incineroar alive at that point. So I think my best play is just to Protect the Torkoal. Oh, I guess the problem is I have to get rid of the Tornadus because Bleak Wind is going to do a lot to Regirock. I actually need to Rock Slide because I think the biggest threat is Torkoal or Tornadus, because if I don't get rid of Tornadus, it's really awkward. Rain Dance is fine. Go for Ivy Cudgel into the Torkoal. Oh, so I guess it didn't matter if I went instant, because if I went instant, they still get this Rain Dance up because Incineroar goes down and then I'm trapped in my last two. So I still think Double Protect was the right play. Rock Slide does a decent amount, but it's not enough. Okay. Going Incineroar here. Get Intimidate off. I think I need a little bit of... Ooh, they have Protect on the Torn. Okay. I think if I get a Torn, I could play a 50-50 with them on the Lando. Ah, this is going to be really tricky. If I get a Torn, that means they can't Bleak Wind, which is a really big factor. So I need to get rid of Torn. I will knock off the Torn and I'm going to body press the Torn. They might switch out. I think their best play would be to sack Incineroar. Oh, wait, they swapped out the Ogerpon into Incineroar. Okay, so they were thinking of getting rid of the... Okay, I see. I'm okay with that, especially since I'm trying to target down the Torn. Bleak Wind's going to KO the Incineroar. The Regirock's able to take it. The big question is, can I get the Lando I play right? If I get the Lando I play right, and assuming no crits, I think I win the game. Body Press gonna KO the Torn. That Rocky Helmet damage is a little bit concerning, especially with this rain up, but Lando I should be coming out. I don't think it should ever be Ogerpon. Oh, I have to make... Basically, it's gonna come down to, do I Terra at the precise moment? Because if they... Wait, they went Ogerpon. Where'd they go? Ogerpon. Okay. I'm very shocked that they went Ogerpon, but this works out in my favor. I'm gonna go for Protect with Regirock because this is on Fake Out, but also, like, unless they have Swords Dance, they don't really benefit from this. Okay, Fake Out. Also, like, again, I think it is Rain and it is Wellspring Ogerpon. But I think Regirock should be able to hang on. Ooh, now I guess the question is, does the Ogerpon go for a Protect or not? Or Spiky Shield. I kind of want to read that they're going to go for Spiky Shield and maybe U-turn out the Regirock. Now, this is the last turn of Rain. I think they want to take the offense on the Rain part. You know what? I'm going to Body Press. Yeah, they did go for the Ivy Cudgel. How much damage does this do? Oh, we took that way better than I expected, actually. They go for Flamus to cover for the Terra. 3 damage. Body Press. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's really going to come down to the Lando. This Lando, it's really going to come down to the Lando. Rain stops, which means Sandstorm Storm is inaccurate, although it shouldn't change much. Because they're Sandstorm Storm, they shouldn't have the, what's it called? Substitute. If they had substitutes, would actually be a more stressful position. Landis comes in. We Protect to get leftovers. Actually, maybe I should have went on the offense here. Although I think always getting the leftovers, because even if we did get rid of their Life Orb, which is huge. But man, the Landers can protect the Scouts, but they might expect my leftovers, so they might play on the aggressive this turn. Okay, they attacked. Earth Power. Yep. It all comes down to this upcoming turn, I think. Do I go for... So their options are a Earth Power or they Protect, most likely, to scout for a Terra. If I had Terra Water, I would have just won and I would have just went for the Terra Water, but Actually, maybe I wouldn't, because Earth Power would do a ton. Do I think they're going to protect the landers to scout or not? I think that's the big question. I think you should always protect the land, though. I really do feel like you should. But if they straight up Earth Power, I do lose. But if I Terra and they protect, I lose because they Sludge Bomb the next turn and then I go down. This is where it gets very tricky. I think they're going to protect. I was so off, man. No. I need to Terra Grass at the moment. I think even if I'm weak to the Flare Blitz with +4 Regirock, I was probably taking like the Flare Blitz decently well. There might have been, I think after 2 leftovers, I'd be out of another Flare Blitz range too, but it really just came down to reading the Lando. Again, the reason why I didn't go for the Terra there is they have Sludge Bomb as an option. I think they could protect the Scout, but maybe they were like, oh, I don't want him building the leftovers recovery because he has a neutral Terra. That's really bad for me. So maybe they were just like, oh, let's just go for the Earth Power at that point. And if not, like hope for a Flare Blitz burn or crit right there. Oh, so close. So close. It wasn't looking good, but we did bring it down to a winnable position. A winnable position. All right, let's go over to games. In game 1, Regirock was able to set up iron defenses very easily, and with my opponents Among Us going for the Terra Water, they were left with no fighting resist and 3 Pokemon weak to body press alongside no damage output against Regirock. In game 2, was able to get some heavy damage at the start of the game that allowed for Focus Sash Fluttermane to knock out the opposing Fluttermane, which was the biggest threat to my Raging Bolt in the back, which was able to clean up the Torkoal. In game 3, Landorus Incarnate was really hard to handle, which led me to lose resources and not take full advantage of my Trick Room turns. It came down to a Terra Call alongside a potential Protect the Scout mind game, which I ended up losing to the straightforward Earth Power play, as maybe they might not have assumed that I was Terra Grass with how I was delaying the Terra at that point. Regirock was really impressive. It is with that base 200 defense able to wall a lot of common Pokemon. And again, even if they're able to ignore the iron defense boost from Sacred Sword from Xian Pao, the Urshifus with the Wicked Blow and the Surge's Strikes, that base 200 defense is allowing Regirock to take those attacks extremely well, especially with Torkoal under the sun. Very fantastic mon overall. If you do want to try the team, the rental code is on the screen. You can check out the details of the team and the creator down below in the description. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.